sold-out BB&T and Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's the winless Florida State Seminoles against the undefeated Wake Forest Demon Deacons. This is indeed uncharted territory. The Seminoles haven't started 0-2 in almost 30 years when Bobby Bowden still ruled Tallahassee. It had been 77 games since FSU had back-to-back losses, the country's longest streak. Also wiped out 89 straight weeks ranked in the AP poll. The positive news belongs to Wake, a 4-0 start for the second year in a row, and the Deacons had never done that before. That leaves the ACC's Atlantic Division in the twilight zone, with Wake contending for first and FSU all the way at the bottom. Good afternoon, everybody. Mike Patrick, Tommy Tuberville. It's great to have you with us. Paul Carcaterra will join us shortly. How important is this game? Consider this. If Wake Forest wins, the Deacons would be 5-0, and the Seminoles would be 0-3. So, Tommy, it's huge.
What a switch tails, you know. It's unbelievable. Florida State starting out possibly the national champion run. But now we see them 0-2. They've got all kinds of speed. They've had a few injuries, but they've played two awfully good teams, Mike. They've got to play better today. They've got to get a running game going. Until they get a running game going, their offense is not going to be potent.
Well, they're going to have to do it with a freshman quarterback, James Blackman, who played his very first game last week.
Yeah, he's got a gun for an arm, but he's 19 years old. He's never played in college before. He's got to learn a whole new system. They have to get that running game again going to help him. Last week what happened is he started throwing it every down. They teed off on him on the pass rush. And what happened is he panicked a little bit. He threw some good passes. He threw some bullets, but he's not there yet. Again, got to get a running game.
This may be the fastest Wake Forest team that we have ever seen, and that speed gives them a chance.
It really does. And, you know, speed and quickness. You know, quickness is important in college football as in speed, and they've got quickness all over the field. Coach Clawson's done a good job of recruiting. They've got some depth. They've got a system that they teach. They have to teach that system. Then they have to play technique to beat teams like Florida State. They don't have the talent they have, so they have to have that system, and they've got that system in place. Will it work today?
Paul Carcaterra will work the sidelines for us. Let's go to him right now. Paul?
Well, my college football fields are littered with incredible athletes every Saturday. And then there are some outliers. Florida State's Derwin James is exactly that. He is an absolute freak of an athlete. Check out his jumping ability. It's absolutely insane. We spoke this week, and he told me he knows how athletic he is, but it's his mindset as well. Ever since he was a kid, he would want to try the impossible. Strength and conditioning coordinator Vic Valoria said it best. If you take all the attributes of all the best ones and combine it into one, you're getting close to Derwin.
He is a magnificent athlete, preseason first-team All-American. He is deep along with Keith Gavin. And this is Mike Weaver with 7 touchbacks and 24 kickoffs.
That is a big returner, Mike. Derwin James is huge. He is huge to return kicks. I'd hate to tackle him because most guys on the kickoff coverage team, for any coverage team, is not near as big as Derwin James.
He's listed at 6'3", 215, but I think he's bigger than that.
Might have a little wind factor today. The wind's picking up pretty good.
James will have a chance a yard deep. Look out. Needs one more block, and there it is. Bye-bye. But there is a flag down back at the 37-yard line, and that is going to wipe out a 100-yard return. It was really 101, but the NCAA only recognizes 100.
And he caught it on the left hash mark and ran all the way across the field to the right hash mark.
Return. Illegal block in the back. Return team number 55. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Frederick Jones, a defensive tackle, called for the penalty. Well, we told you he was a good kick returner.
That was a good call by our sideline reporter.
Wasn't it?
That was a great call. Watch it. Watch this return. He catches it, goes all the way across the field. He gets a block right here in the back. But you can tell the athletic ability he's got running down the field. He's got speed. He's got moves. This guy is an athlete. That is what you're looking for, by the way, when you're recruiting defensive and offensive players in college football.
Blackman will start from the 26-yard line with Jaquez Patrick as his running back. They will rotate 3 guys out of that position. Blackman only 169 pounds. Gives it to Patrick, and that offensive line has not opened many holes for the running game. Florida State offense led by Blackman, a young man out of sugarcane country in Palm Beach County, Florida. Last week against the Wolfpack, he became the first true freshman to start at quarterback for the Seminoles in 32 years since the mid-'80s.
And what an athlete he is.
Throws a great deep ball. Now out of the eye, they fake an end around, and Patrick takes it up to a 30. It's going to bring out a 3rd and 6.
Impact players for the game for tight end for Florida State, Ryan Izzo. He's going to be a big factor today for Blackman on the short passes and blocking for the power plays as we saw the first play. And then Jesse Bates, safety for Wake Forest. He's a guy that rolls up into an 8-man front, makes a lot of tackles, but also is a very good defender in the passing game.
Izzo splits out. Last week they had some trouble protecting for Blackman. Staring down a receiver, throws, it's caught, but it's going to be shy of a first down.
Just a poor route by Nooney Murray. You got to get to the first down marker. He ran a 4-yard route and he needed 6 yards. Good throw, good catch, but just cut the route short.
So it'll make it 4th and 2 yards from the 39-yard line, and Logan Tyler comes on to kick. Greg Dortch, who is a really good return man in his own right, is back at the 25-yard line. Pressure. Dortch from the 22. Nice move. Takes him up across the 30-yard line. 9-yard return after a kick of 44. John Wolford, a senior out of Jacksonville, Florida, leads the Demon Deacons. Earlier this month, he made Wake Forest football history, becoming the first Demon Deacon quarterback to start 4 straight season openers. And this is his 38th career start. That's 3rd on the Wake Forest all-time list. Put up some pretty good numbers so far, completing better than 60% of his passes with 8 touchdowns and no picks.
And he's their leading rusher at quarterback.
Colburn starts at the running back spot, and they go flanker around with Dortch. They pick up about 5.
Great job out of number 4, Tarvarius McFadden. He won all kind of awards last year at cornerback. Just a good job of making sure he contained that, let all the speed, let the posse get to the tackle.
Quick screen that's caught by Colburn, but he doesn't get anything as McFadden comes up to make the stop.
Impact players for Florida State here. The safety Trey Marshall made all kind of tackles the first couple of games, and then Cam Serenay, tight end again. He's got to be a big factor in the passing game.
3rd down, another flanker screen, and this one works. Complete to Stephen Claude. Cam Serenay, the tight end, one of the best tight ends that's ever played at Wake, threw him a good block, and it's first down at the Florida State 46. Wolford, quarterback run, and he goes nowhere.
They've given him a different formation almost every snap. And the coaches told us yesterday we can't let these guys get their feet settled in the ground. They got to make sure they're thinking before the snap, do a lot of movement, different formations. We got a lot of them so far. There's a good shot of Dave Clawson, coach. Third year off to a great start, 4-0. He knows it's tough for him to get ready to start for these next 5 or 6 games in a row, because it is murderer's row.
Dortch reverses his field, and Colburn hitting the backfield by Noddy. He got that 5 yards back.
You know, by looking at their film, what they do best is run straight downhill. I'm talking Wake Forest. And that's what they've got to do against Florida State. They're not going to outrun Florida State to the side.
3rd and 7. Flanker around, nothing.
Perfect example.
Wrapped up.
Yeah, perfect example, Rep. You can't outrun Florida State. You've got to run right at them, negate their speed, use your strength, get positive yardage, and don't take tackles for loss.
Trey Marshall came up from the safety spot to get that tackle.
Yeah, look at this right here. There's just too much speed. There's both tackles right there. DeMarcus Christmas is a heck of a player. He's not going to move a whole lot.
Wake punting on 4th and 2. Dom Maggio to kick it away. They could have just gone with Joe Dom Maggio if they were going to do that. His dad was a punter at UCLA. Nice high end over end kick with backspin on it. Beautiful job, and look at this. They'll down it at the 1. Straight up the middle. It's a foot race. Patrick, can they catch him? They do. Jesse Bates saved a touchdown, but it's a run of 69.
That happens a lot of times when you have short yardage or coming off the goal line. You got 10 men on the line of scrimmage, and here you can see number 50 got blocked. Grant Dawson, he got cut off in his hole. It was Katie bar the door. There was no safety deep.
Jonathan Vickers, the fullback, number 26, through the block that strung him. Patrick stays in the game, goes off the left side, this time only a yard. Bates again, the freshman All-American a year ago.
I like that they're running the ball, though, Mike. It's going to give them a chance. They've got a long season in front of them. They've got to make sure they learn how to run the football.
Blackman appears to be changing the plays. Got 4 wide receivers in there. And Rasul was the new running back. He was number 22. From behind, Blackman lost it, but it's recovered. Picked up by Brock Rubel after Wendell Dunn caused the sack and the fumble.
Well, all you got to do is watch the backside. The backside tackle, who was just replaced, number 71, just took his spot for the injured player. Now he picks the ball up, but number 14, he just absolutely outran it. Brock Rubel, the offensive lineman, has taken the place of the left tackle, injured left tackle. You got to do a better job than that early in the game.
He's a monster of a guy, 6'8", 324. Patrick dives inside the 35 to the 34. Aguayo will try a 51-yard field goal. And it's good. He is 5 out of 7. That was the longest kick of the year for him, and Florida State jumps on top by 3. Dortch driven 4 yards deep. He'll take a knee. Let's check in with Cart.
Well, Mike, Florida State settled, score a field goal, but Jimbo Fisher, the head coach of the Seminoles, wanted more, and he let his offensive line know about it. He felt like they got pushed around there. Wake Forest was penetrating, especially right up the middle, and he is not thrilled with this group. And keep in mind, Derek Kelly, the first-year starter, he's out. He's getting evaluated. I'll give you more information when I get an update on his status, but he's a first starter. He's been plagued with injuries in the past, too. He's had an ankle, a concussion, and a knee injury that sidelined him last year.
And Cart, Jimbo has to be concerned about his quarterback, too. This is his second team quarterback, a true freshman who only weighs 169 pounds. How much of a beating can he take? Wolford on the quarterback draw up to the 29-yard line, a gain of 4, the leading rusher on this ball club. 269 yards coming in.
Florida State now has changed their temperament on defense. They're going more man coverage, putting 8 men in the box just to stop the run.
This will gain maybe 2, and that's it. DeMarcus Christmas with a stop on the interior of that line.
Again, I think Wake Forest be much more efficient running right at their defense. Don't run sideways. Run right at the defense if you're going to run it.
They try to spread the field. 3 wide receivers to the left.
Eight-man drop.
Quick pass underneath, and that will be stopped 2 yards shy of a first down. They've got the guys, Tommy, to cover man-to-man.
Yeah, they do. They can cover man-to-man with their safeties or linebackers. That's the beauty of what Florida State can do. They've got so much speed. They can intermix anybody they want and play any type of coverage, especially man coverage.
Maggio to kick to McFadden, who's back at his 25. Low line drive kick. Takes a good bounce for Florida State all the way to the 29. It's a 38-yard kick. Rasul stays in the game. Blackman short set, flanker screen. Campbell. Wake says they got the ball, and they do. Grant Dawson made the play, and Jabari Williams made the recovery. That's exactly what this defense needs to do today.
Just a Z middle screen. Grant Dawson breaks on it. He sees it, catches the ball, but you got to hold on to the football. Grant Dawson made a good tackle. He put his face mask on the football and knocked it loose. Huge break for Wake Forest. Now they've got to get points on board. They can't come out empty-handed on this drive.
George Campbell, the sophomore, made the catch but coughed it up.
I'd like to see them go fast tempo here. Going no backs in the backfield.
Wolford back to throw. Underneath to Dortch, and he makes a man miss. Dortch down to the 10. And that was Derwin James who couldn't bring the little guy down. Dortch listed at 5'9", 165. Wolford throws to the outside. They won't get anything out of that. Chuck Wade Jr. makes the catch, and Levante Taylor was there to wrap him up.
If there's a weakness on this defense, it'd be Levante Taylor.
Wake has scored every time they've been in the red zone this year. 10 touchdowns, 8 field goals. That's first in the country. Dortch, it's a throwback to the quarterback and knocked away at the last minute by McFadden.
I just don't like to watch this down in the red zone. They were moving the ball, and all of a sudden they run 2 trick plays and end up probably going to have to kick a field goal. If you watch this, it's just throwback to the quarterback. They're thinking they're in man coverage, and McFadden just stays at home, makes a play. Pretty routine for Florida State, but if you're having to trick them down there this early in the game, it could be a long game. Big play for Wolford. He needs to make a play here over the middle. Throw the ball over the middle. Don't throw it to the outside. Too much speed.
This is 3rd and goal. Very conservative call. Bird goes up the middle inside the 10 to about the 7. And now they'll have to settle.
Yeah, it's got to be a field goal. Akeem Bird right there, number 5. He brought them back last week in their game against App State. He's the fastest player on offense. Runs a 10-500 meters. He gives them a little bit of a threat to all the speed they have on defense at Florida State.
Mike Weaver is in to try a chip shot field goal. 24 yards. He's made 10 straight going back to last year. He's 8 for 8 this year and is on the Luke Rosa watch list. Wake has tied it courtesy of the turnover. A fumble after the completed pass that the Deacons recovered. We are tied at 3 at Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Derwin James back for the kick return Last time he touched the ball went 101 yards. Was called back because of a block in the back. And they kick it away from him. They'll start from the 25. Blackman looked like a little zone read, and what a play coming up from the secondary. Amari Henderson read that play beautifully and drilled Nooney Murray.
What a great break on the ball right here. Watch Amari come up. Perfect tackle. Tackles with his shoulder. Ball's in the air. Nooney has no chance because the ball's in the air. He's going to take a lick and probably got the breath knocked out of him a little bit. Florida State, Mike, has been the screen team of college football for years. Let's see if they can run a good screen on 2nd and 12.
Cam Akers gets a chance to run it to the outside. Kid with just tremendous speed out of Clinton, Mississippi.
#1 running back in the country last year as a recruit. He's got strong legs, and he can go vertical. He would have not got caught by behind off the goal line a while ago, but he gets the opportunity now to come in with fresh legs and see what he can do. But they just got to keep their timing up. You know, the freshman quarterback on the road for the first time as a starter, he has got to really work on his timing, work with his running backs, work on the snap count, get all the little things done before you can make big plays.
Third. Blackman gives it to Patrick. He gets about a yard and then is gang tackled and pushed back. Let's go to Paul Carcaterra.
Well, Mike, Florida State not very successful offensively, but the belief in freshman quarterback James Blackman is there. I spoke to a bunch of coaches pregame. Some of the words that describe the freshman quarterback with his first start on the road: mature, poised, smart. Tino Sinceri on their staff said, don't worry, he won't be rattled mentally. The biggest thing for him now is getting his eyes right in terms of reading progressions and his feet.
All right, thanks, Paul. Logan Tyler comes in.
That's the end of the first quarter. Timeout.
3-3 here in Winston-Salem. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Don't stop.
FSU has to kick it away. Flag is down. Shanked. Shanked.
Red zone offense. Let's see what Wake Forest can do.
Fake to throw and run it with Arkeem Byrd.
Again, lateral run. And if you're going to run the ball down here, it's got to be more the quarterback running the ball, not lateral with the tailback. Here we go with no back.
Wolford with the out. Nice throw and nice catch at the 20-yard line. Cortez Lewis went down to the turf to get it.
I think the kid's 6 for 6.
Yeah.
6 for 6. Throwing the football. That's just unbelievable. Throwing mostly out routes.
3rd and about 2. Florida State has some guys creeping up near the line of scrimmage.
Could be 4-down territory. Got to get closer to a first down.
Byrd needs to reach the 18 and just got back to the line of scrimmage. Can't go on 4th and 2, can you?
You got to kick this one. You know, you continue to run the ball lateral, you know, in the red zone. And Florida State's 2 defensive tackles, Noddy and Christmas, are absolutely killing the guards. So I really don't understand what they're trying to do on the lateral running for, you know, 3rd and 2. It just really makes no sense.
Weaver's already hit from 24. This will be a 39-yard try. 9 for 9 this season. Make it 10 for 10. 6-3. Wake Forest leading FSU. And they do it again. Gavin will let it go as that ball was 8 yards deep when it hit. Now, can they do anything with that break? Certainly not on first down. Akers hasn't been able to get out of his own backfield. Wendell Dunn again makes the tackle.
Yeah, Wendell Dunn from Palmetto High School in Miami. He's one of their playmakers, one of their team captains. All this defensive line getting penetration. Florida State's offensive line is absolutely getting whipped on first down. I mean, and they're doing it with a 4-man front, not a 5- or 6-man front. Now it looks they'll go play action, try to get the ball outside. They've got to spread this defense out, but it's hard to spread out a team that on defense that runs zone coverage almost all the time.
Akers stays in the ball game. Goes out in the pattern, pressure coming in a sack. Willie Yarbury. My, oh my.
He's looking to the 3 receiver side. You can tell right here he never sees him coming. 48 coming out. They've got a little twist done on with 48 and 14. He's looking at the inside receiver of number 3 from the boundary to the strong side. He had no time to get it off. You have to switch that off with offensive linemen. Offensive line, again, pass protection and run blocking, not doing very well. That's a 6th tackle for a loss.
Look at the number of plays that have resulted in minus yardage. And they go with the draw, and Akers eaten up after he gets a couple. Calhoun made the stop. So they get a big break on the roughing the punter call and can't take advantage of it. Now they'll have to kick it away again.
Not only can't take advantage, they lose 6 yards. I mean, they can't do anything against just a base defense from Wake Forest. All they're doing is playing base defense, base zone coverage, and there's all kind of penetration from the defensive line. Good coverage in the secondary. Quarterback's taking a little bit too long to throw the ball.
Tyler getting ready to kick to Dortch.
Rugby.
Oh, crushed this one all the way back to the 10. Dortch makes a man miss, goes up the sideline, still on his feet and taken down. That's the Maya Angelou Residence Hall. We'll get more about her when we return. Dr. Maya Angelou, poet, author, civil rights activist, taught poetry and literature to generations of Wake Forest students from 1982 until her death in 2014. Where I went to school, I had a guy that wore tweed everywhere and didn't know much about literature, but I never had the chance to study under Maya Angelou.
That's a good story. All right, here we go. Now, I'd like to see a big play try right here with Wake Forest. Try to open it up a little bit on this series.
Might have it right here. Pump fakes and then goes back to Dortch. On the outside, Derwin James got him around the neck and brought him down.
Derwin James needs to check his cleats. He's falling down on almost every play. Slipping down on backpedaling, and you know, most of the time that's because your cleats going fast, trying to make something happen.
Another flanker screen. They'll pick up a couple, but it's enough for a first down. Let's go to Clark.
Mike and Tommy, everyone talks about the athletes on Florida State, rightfully so, but I'll tell you, Dortch, 89 and black, belongs on this field with these athletes. He's so slippery and field level, explosive beyond belief off his first step.
Little shovel pass after the fake to Dortch, and it's Cam Serenay, their outstanding tight end. And now a little extracurricular activity as Derwin James was involved in it.
Shovel pass last week was used by North Carolina State against Florida State for a touchdown. I'm sure they got that on film.
Wolford can't throw it, takes off. Big hole for the quarterback. And Wolford out of bounds at the 35, a 27-yard gain.
Defended. When you're defended, you pull it down and go for positive yards. Great play out of Wolford. He's just a playmaker. Wasn't anything there on the pass. He just made something out of nothing.
Pressure coming from behind. He's hitting, it's incomplete. The pressure came from Josh Sweat, the defensive end. That's the first completion for Wolford.
He just had a lot of pressure.
I mean,
on the backside.
incompletion.
Yeah,
excuse me.
Yeah, Josh Sweat's their best pass rusher. He came off the side real hard then. Of course, no backs, defensive linemen get a lot better jump.
They like the pace of this offense. Out in the flat to Colburn. And Colburn inside the 15. Now keep in mind, Florida State is playing without Jacob Pugh. The outside linebacker was suspended for the first half. And Roderick Hoskins, who is in street clothes, the middle linebacker, they said he suffered an injury. He did not say what it was. Out in the flat again. Dortch inside the 5. Boy, they're making a living off of this.
They're just spreading the defense. They're spreading them out, putting them one-on-one and make tackles. Florida State's not ready for this. They're out quicking them. We talked early in the game. Speed is not near as important as quickness, and what you're seeing now is one-on-one on the outside, and quickness is winning out with Wake Forest.
Colburn goes out in the flat. Quarterback draw. Touchdown. How about this, Tommy?
Well, this is fun to watch. Just a quarterback making things happen. Florida State's quarterback's not making anything happen. This kid is a competitor. They've tried to beat him out the last 4 years. The coaches have to get somebody else at quarterback, and they can't do it. They can't do it. Perfect in the red zone. 2 field goals and a touchdown now, and it's pretty much all quarterback.
Wolford carried the ball twice for 30 yards and hit 5 out of 6 passes for 51 on that drive. Man, that ball was yanked and missed. The reliable Mike Weaver snap hooked one. And it's 12-3 here at Wake Forest.
Just lean back and let it go.
Wolford scores, and the crowd quieted after that. Welcome back to Winston-Salem. If you joined us late, how about this? 12-3, undefeated Wake Forest over winless Florida State. How often do you get to say something like that?
And by watching the game, this is not a fluke. They are playing very good football from Wake Forest on both sides of the ball. Special teams has been a little bit lax. They've made some mistakes, but I tell you, they have really been playing well on both sides.
Change in the return scheme. Campbell and Gavin are deep. No Derwin James. Taken at the 3 by Keith Gavin. Looking for a block and got it. Gavin inside the 20-yard line. They had one from 101 called back. This one is 81, and boy, did they need that.
I never believed in kicking the ball in the middle of the field, always kicking the corner. Too much room to cover. They did a great job of blocking. Just too many athletes for Florida State. You know, I don't think you'll see many more kickoffs from Wake Forest. They're going to be pooching it, kicking it out of bounds, doing something. Do not kick the ball deep to these guys. They're way too athletic.
And it looks like the Seminoles got away with a block in the back around the 25-yard line on that play as well.
Well, big red zone. Let's see what the defense can do. They've been playing awfully well base defense.
Patrick is the tailback. They'll throw it instead for the end zone too high, intended for Auden Tate, who is their most dangerous receiver. But he needed to be about 6'11" to have a shot at that one. The drive chart, except for one drive, non-existent. And that drive, they only got a field goal out of it.
20 plays. One play, they had 69 yards. The other 19 plays, they've had 7 yards. It's just been total domination of Wake Forest. But again, they're not doing anything fancy. They're just lining up and says, come beat us. Florida State's getting beat on the offensive line.
So blitz here, and Patrick goes straight up the middle. Inside the 10, they need to reach the 6 for a first down.
This could be 4-down territory here. Jimbo Fisher might say the heck with it. We're fixing to make something happen. But again, their best play was that play right there, running straight downhill at a 4-man front. That's the weakness of a 4-man front, is inside. not outside. Probably get a 5-man front here out of Wake Forest, but somebody over the center, what we call bear defense.
3rd and 2. Huge play here. Patrick muscles his way inside the 5 before he's pushed back. That's a first down. 1st and goal. Vickers, good block. That guy who was moved from running back put on some weight up to 239. Now there is a flag down at the end of this play.
Personal foul. Defense number 3. Half a distance to the goal. First down.
Bates did not give up when the whistle blew. Continued to drive Jaquez Patrick back and dumped him.
Once they're just pulling him back, trying to get the ball out. That's what number 3 just trying to. That's not a very good call by the official. The official, they've got to understand what the defensive players are trying to do. They're trying to rip the ball out. There's no contact there. Obviously, it's not many yards there. It puts the ball at the 1-yard line. But Jaquez Patrick right here, he's probably going to get the ball again. They're just running old-timey football, straight downhill, fullback in the game.
Vickers is the lead blocker. Patrick hits, fights forward, touchdown. Courtesy of that huge kick return, FSU is right back in it.
Special teams can make a huge difference, and it has here today. 2 mistakes out of Wake Forest, and they kick, well, really 3. Missed extra point, and they had a kickoff return, and then they roughed the punter. You can't win many big ball games doing that.
Tommy, they will play starters on special teams. That's what makes them extra dangerous.
That's exactly right.
Aguayo knocks it through. And Florida State back in the game. They're down by 2. We have a good one here at Wake Forest. It's 12-10. And this kick will go out of the end zone. Keep an eye on Dortch. He has really been their offense. Quarterback draw. Dortch with 9 touches on punt returns, rushes, and receiving. 78 yards. Here's Clark.
Well, Mike, John Wolford, starting quarterback for Wake Forest. He had a play early in his career, and he was beaten down after down, but Dave Clawson, head coach, told us yesterday he actually came back better after those beatings. I'm watching him on the sideline, clear leader of this team.
Tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Florida State. The tip drill works. Taken by Kyle Myers, the sophomore.
That was just a good play by him. It's a fairly good pass. Quick slant route. Sets throws. Goes a little low. Should have been caught. Turnover. Great teams and great athletes make big plays. And that's just exactly what happened to Kyle Myers there. Right place at the right time because he can break on the ball.
Boy, how big is this? And that is the first turnover that Florida State has forced in 3 games. That's amazing. Akers. Oh, nice cut. He's got his quarterback out in front throwing a block for him. Akers down to the 15-yard line.
Just a cut right here from the backside. 81. Izzo just wads everybody downhill. This kid can break on a dime. Former quarterback, played quarterback in high school in Mississippi last year, was the #1 supposedly recruit for running back, and you saw right there what he can do. True freshman.
Plenty of time left to go in the half. 4:37 and counting. Blackman barking out instructions. Akers stumbles, stays on his feet somehow, and gets down to the 7-8-yard line. Let's go back to Paul.
Big dose of Akers. Him and Najee Harris of Alabama, the top 2 running back recruits nationally last year. Coach Tubbs, you mentioned quarterback. He wasn't just any old quarterback, though. He threw for 3,100 yards and 31 touchdowns, along with 2,100 yards on the ground and 34 touchdowns on the ground as well. I mean, talk about offense. This kid's ridiculous.
They could use him to do something special here, Paul. Akers will get it again. Cuts to the outside, looking for a block. Can't get one. Nice play by Duke Ejiofor. He wasn't buying it this time and makes a huge tackle. I said the ranking was last. 128th is next to last. Possibly a distinction without a difference. Go out in the flat to Akers. Akers down to the 10.
That's a high percentage throw. It's just what I talked about. You got to get the ball in the flat down here in the red zone. If you're going to make a big play in the passing game, unless you want to take a big chance for an interception, that was a safe play. They wanted 3 points. They wanted to go in with a lead, and this will give them a chance to do that.
This would be a momentum builder going in, wouldn't it?
Well, you got to think about Wake Forest too. Their defense has really played awfully well. Their offense on that one turnover, and of course the special teams has absolutely killed Wake Forest in the first half.
Aguayo from 27. He had already kicked one from 51. And the Seminoles, who have been outplayed the entire first half except for special teams, have taken the lead over Wake Forest 13-12. When we come back, Kevin Nagandi, Mac Brown, and Booger McFarland will bring you up to date on everything. State Farm halftime report after this message and a word from our ABC stations. And we got a good game. It's 13-12. The Seminoles, who were really outplayed by Wake Forest in the first half, have come back and taken a 13-12 lead. Your impressions?
Well, the star of the game so far, Wake Forest defense. They're playing good defense. Florida State's got 108 yards total offense, 101 rushing, 7 passing. So Florida State's got to throw the ball a little bit better this half, but they got to continue to run the ball.
Wake will get the ball to start the third quarter, and we go to Paul.
Well, Coach Tuberville, you are spot on, because I just talked to Dave Clawson, the head coach at Wake Forest, and he is really thrilled with both lines of scrimmage, offensively and defensively. He said defensively, they're getting Florida State off schedule, and he thinks they can continue to do that. He's held the Noles to 108 total yards of offense. It's been a big-time penetration. He said those inside guys defensively are doing a great job. And, hey, Mike, that Matt Colburn, you can get it on SoundCloud or iTunes. Sony Michel, I think you bought that one. Now it's time for you to buck up and get Matt Colburn.
I'll tell you what, $1.95 well spent. Wolford has played well in the first half. He's going to have to keep it up, and now he's going to have to bring his team from behind.
Set the tempo. First couple of plays for the second half. Got to set the tempo.
Colburn, the voice, trying to lead his quarterback through that hole that closed quickly. Dontavius Jackson, number 5, was in on the stop. He's been starting because Jacob Pugh was out in the first half because of a targeting call last week. Wolford with a pump fake, forced out of the pocket. Still on his feet. Wolford across midfield. And knocked down by James at the 43-yard line. A run of 34 yards.
Just a playmaker. Know where to throw it. Not too much penetration out of the nose guard. Christmas, just a good play. I mean, the kid's a competitor. Look for something. Look for a positive play. Keep the ball moving. Keep something going. I'd like to see him pick up the pace just a little bit more on offense.
Get about 5 with Colburn. Kid who has really good vision, had 626 yards rushing a year ago. Wilkerson made the stop.
Yeah, that was a good juke in the hole. Wasn't anything there. Sidestep, make a few yards.
Same look, quarterback keeper, and nothing. Coming up from his linebacker spot again, Dontavius Jackson. Really hadn't played any before this game today. He was hurt in preseason. Finally getting to the point where he can give it a go. 3rd and 5. Keeper. Nothing doing. Jalen Wilkerson got in the backfield immediately and made the stop. Now what do you do on 4th down?
You got to try to pin them. They just gave too many yards up there. If they had kept the line of scrimmage, maybe made a yard, you might could go for it. But they're going to play protective here, punt it down, try to get the ball inside the 10. Not a very good series on the last couple of plays. Looked like they're confused. They released a guy both times unblocked.
Maggio to kick. Does a nice job with that end over end reverse spin when it hits. Another good kick. This one kicks forward. Should have been down at the 1. That's twice. The special teams have let them down. Chuck Wade, a wide receiver, was right there, and the ball skipped right under his hands.
Well, what you got to do is you got to go down, as you see right. You've got to go down and turn your back. Turn your back, get your feet planted to the goal line, and don't play like a shortstop. Don't let the ball through. Bend your knees. Be an athlete. Right there, he just got confused and obviously hadn't been in that situation. I used to do that every Thursday in practice, and every one of the guys had to run down and stop at least 3 or 4 inside the 5-yard line.
And if you're not used to doing it like that, you can't do it right.
Exactly right.
Seminoles get a break. They give up the big run, but Wake can't take advantage. Patrick is back in. He's over 100 yards, most of it coming on that one run. Breaks another one here. Runs over a defender out to the 43-yard line. Jesse Bates finally made the tackle on Jaquez Patrick.
This is where you attack a 4-man front. You run right at it, and you see Cameron coming up, a safety. He fills the wrong hole, and we don't get anything inside from Garrett, the middle linebacker. He's got to play inside out. But Cameron hit the hole to the outside, nobody in the B gap.
122 yards rushing for Patrick. Again, he'll pick up maybe 2. Let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. Wolford, who was their quarterback, also their leading rusher on the season, has made some impact plays, but it's been the Wake defense that has done the majority of the heavy lifting. 10 tackles for loss in this game. And here's Patrick. The numbers up to 122 yards rushing.
Again, anything north and south versus Wake's defense, they've had trouble. Anything going lateral, they've played very well. They played it inside out. Made the ball go to the sideline. Use the sideline as an extra defender. But again, they've got to stop this downhill run of Patrick. Got a fullback in the game. All it is junior high plays running right at the middle linebacker and the weak side linebacker.
Kid Vickers is a good blocker. They fake the run. Deep out. Caught at the sideline. Is it out of bounds? No, they rule it is out of bounds. Excuse me.
That was a heck of a throw right there.
Yes, it was.
They tried to. What's been happening is Cameron Glenn's been coming up for an 8-man front. Now they try to throw a post route, as you see right here, to the outside. He makes a good play. I'm telling you, he makes a very good play. S.A. Bassey makes a good play. Gets his arm on the outside. He steps on the line. Good call by the official.
Looked like it just touched. And Florida State has another injury on the offensive line. Landon Dickerson came off the field.
2 for 7 on 3rd down, and again, one of the best screen teams in the country.
Patrick dives forward. It is a first down for the Seminoles. Great call and well executed. They pick up 16 yards, and Blackman did a good job of selling it too.
And Wake Forest looks like they have not even worked against the screen. That's a perfect situation. 3rd and 8. Screen down all the way, either middle screen or 2-back screen out of the backfield. And again, just not enough pursuit. It really set up well by the offensive line from Florida State. Unbalanced line.
Cam Akers is in it, tailback, and Blackman is lit up by Willie Yarborough. I mean, he came through untouched.
And it looked like this was a RPO run pass option, and they zoned out and it just turned him loose. I mean, the offensive lineman didn't get his head across. Great quick movement but the center just got beat.
Yarberry said, I got your option right here. Loss of 3. It's the second big play he's made in this game. Akers behind Izzo. Breaks the tackle, cuts it to the outside. Tremendous speed down to the 15-yard line. 27 on the run. Izzo was the guy who cleared a lane for him.
Counter play, pulling guards, good block to the outside. This is their best speed back. Obviously, they're in an experimental mode right now with their offense. Cam Akers is their outside guy. Jalquez Patrick's going to be their inside guy.
And Tommy, they're starting to get yards on the ground, which is going to be a key for them going forward.
Well, as nothing but anything else for timing and for the offensive line.
First and goal, and right now Florida State has some answers. Patrick, yard and a half.
As Clark said earlier, the whole left side of the line is new. They've lost Landon Dickerson, left guard. They've lost Derek Kelly, left guard. You got backups in there. Some great experience. And they're going to have a lot of movement, over the next couple of games of trying to find the right combination. But if you look at the offensive line, I've always noticed this. 10 offensive linemen, only 2 are from the state of Florida.
So now we're looking at second and goal. 4-man rush. Swing it out in the flat to Akers, and Akers, what a tackle by Bates. Gee whiz, what a nice play.
That's it. He's all over the field, and again, we call him one of our impact players, and he has really been an impact. Both safeties for Wake Forest have really played well. This is a play again, third down. If I'm Florida State and Wake Forest hadn't stopped the screen, I would run the screen again. I don't care if it's on the 8-yard line. Let's see what happens. But I would pressure if I was Wake Forest. I would not set back. And I always look at the split of receivers in the red zone. Sometimes they can tell you where the ball's going.
They'll give it to Patrick on the handoff. He has nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. Grant Dawson, the middle linebacker, after Ejiofor also made contact, and now they'll have to settle for the field goal.
That was just a give-up call by the offense. It was just, hey, we'll take the 3 points. Unfortunately, they lost about 6 or 7 yards instead of going straight downhill and trying to get 4 or 5, make a shorter field goal.
Aguayo, who's already made 2.
They almost blocked the field goal from this left side down here.
This is from 37. And Aguayo is perfect today. And Florida State now leads 16-12. So Wake Chapel, the most prominent building on the Wake Forest campus. It's been a stage for U.S. presidents for decades to speak. Going to have a chance to return this one, and a neck-high tackle on Dortch. Let's go to Paul Carcaterra.
Well, yesterday I spent time with one of those members of the Wake Forest defense, Wendell Dunn. He is an impressive young man with an interesting academic journey, and he's paying it forward. You could check out my entire conversation with Wendell on the ESPN app and the Wake Forest Clubhouse. Wendell, he is one college athlete you would love to root for. This kid is fantastic.
Very bright kid as well, and as you might expect, going to Wake Forest. Nice catch by Scotty Washington on a good throw by Wolford.
Yeah, I like it. I like
yards.
It. Come out slinging. You got to play to win the game. Good route right here. Stop and go. Pretty good defense out of the defensive back. But a great throw to the outside shoulder by Wolford.
Wolford goes out in the flat again. Dortch makes another catch. Wolford quarterback draw. Florida State has defensed that pretty well since the first quarter.
He's going to find a crease somewhere to make at least 2 or 3 yards. Big down, 3rd and a yard.
This is close. It's right at the sticks. The Depends on the mark. It looks like the nose of the ball is just past the line to make, and it is a first down.
I wouldn't.
Clock is running.
Yeah. They're going to try to get a play in.
Now Wolford looks to the sideline. They're not going to get one off. That is the end of the third quarter. What a game we have had so far. 15 minutes left in it. And we'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC station.
All right, Wake Forest, come out and try to win the game. Come out and throw the ball in the red zone. You can't run it against an 8-man front. That's what they're playing.
Wolford, pressure coming, and they got him. Well, they had him. He got away and completes the pass. Serenade inside the 10. Are you kidding? He turned the loss of 10 into a gain of 28. Wolford, keeper. This time dragged down to 6.
Go back to the previous play. What this was, they were running a delay route with a tight end all the way as man coverage. He blocked and then released. The defender let him go. That's the reason he was wide open. Great play out of Wolford.
And to Wolford's credit, he didn't panic. He knew exactly where Serenade was. Somehow got out of the tackle and made the completion. Second and goal. They'll hand this one off to Colburn, and Colburn goes in for the touchdown. Osterhage was out in front. The junior right guard, number 68, threw him a block that cleared the way.
Let's watch 68. Watch him pull to the outside. He just gets a good reach block, uses his hands, doesn't hold. A lot of times guys like to grab cloth on that. Good play by the right guard.
Weaver for the point after. Boy, hooked it again, but got this one just inside the upright. They are not happy on the Florida State sideline. But they're celebrating in Winston-Salem.
Don't stop.
13:57 to go from Winston-Salem, and the Demon Deacons have the lead on the Seminoles. Tommy Tuberville says you can't kick it deep anymore, so they hit a chip shot to Campbell, and Campbell takes it out to the 38.
Important drive. Florida State has got a character builder here. They've got the talent. They can move down and score. They got to take advantage of Wake Forest playing base defense and base coverage.
Trying to get to the outside, and look at this Wake Forest defense. Holy cow. They have eaten up Florida State's line. Ejiofor was the first man out there, number 53.
Ejiofor is just unbelievable. The penetration up the field. And, of course, Jesse Bates has been all over the field today. He seems to show up no matter where the ball's at. And he's playing safety. He's playing 12, 14 yards deep. Florida State now has got to, obviously, pick it up and throw the ball down the field. But again, don't forget about the screen. Don't put the quarterback in a tough situation where he turns the ball over.
Bates has had 13 tackles today. 4-man rush on pressure on Blackman, and he can't hit Akers on the screen. That's because Wendell Dunn was coming like a freight train.
Well, after 4 or 5 times of running the screen, they finally got the defensive end out there. Drop back. He doesn't sell it as good as he did the other ones. But again, it's still a good play. You still can run a screen no matter what happens against a base zone defense.
Hats off to the Deacons defense. 3rd and 20. Josh Bell struggling at left tackle for the Seminoles.
Got to throw a post route down the middle.
Rips this one to the sideline and caught. Keith Gavin all the way inside the 20-yard line. A gain for 42. Cameron Glenn couldn't get him.
That was great to see out of the young quarterback. He struggled all day. He had time. He had time in the pocket this time to get the ball outside there in man coverage, but he's got time in the pocket. He sets his feet, very calm, throws a fade route down the side. The safety cannot get over the top and misses the play. That's a pretty bad angle from Cameron Glenn, number 2, the safety.
Patrick. Nothing again. They are well within field goal territory for Ricky Aguayo.
This is a big play call. 3rd down and about 7 or 8. You know, that time they had 2 tight ends in the game. Just going to pound it down the middle. You can tell their offensive line's getting a little bit tired. They're running out of numbers.
Would you be afraid to take a chance here with a field goal staring you in the face?
No, I think you got to try to score a touchdown here. I think you got to try a touchdown, and they've got 2 tight ends in the game, both of them on one side.
Tate is the only wide receiver, and they're looking his way. Auden Tate just out of his reach.
That was a good no call by the official.
Yes, it was.
Almost holding, but he didn't quite get in hold of him. But that was Samuel's tight end position. They threw down the field. That's kind of a unique play. 2 tight ends in the game. You think they're going to run the ball. Auden Tate crosses with Sanders in the end zone. Just a little bit overthrown.
And that's a big linebacker covering him. A rover back who was a hybrid position. And now Aguayo, who was hit from 27, 37, and 51, will try from 35.
They've been close to blocking several of these.
Drills it through. We are tied at 19. What a ball game. Dortch. Excuse me, it wasn't Dortch.
Chuck Wade.
Chuck Wade had the return.
And man coverage, 8-man front. They throw a fade route here.
Has to dump it off underneath, and Wolford can't get away from Dontavius Jackson.
And that was a heck of a tackle, and he needed to make that tackle.
Yes, he did.
There was a lot of green grass. It was one-on-one. They had a good matchup. He just didn't have enough room to break the tackle.
Wolford makes quick decisions.
If I'm Florida State here, I press them, get on top of them. Don't give them the short route. That's what they're going to try to get. Bringing outside blitz from both sides. Playing man-free coverage. They'll have a center fielder. Darwin Jones will be the center fielder.
They shifted Serenay into the slot, their big tight end. Throw it out in the flat again. And caught by Colburn. They need to reach the 35 for a first down. So it's going to be a huge 3rd and 4 call.
This is a good series so far for Charles Kelly, the defensive coordinator, Florida State.
Blitz coming. They don't get there, and the pass is incomplete, short.
It looks like they got a little bit fast with the snap. Quarterback didn't really get set up. They tried to go too fast. Here's Charles Kelly, defensive coordinator at Florida State. Done a heck of a job. Nobody's back here for Florida State. Here he comes.
Running on the field late, and it's Andrews. Makes the fair catch, 41-yard punt.
James Blackman is getting ready to grow up real quick in college football with this drive.
This is huge for both of these teams. The Seminoles can't afford to start 0-3. Wake trying to go 5-0. Here's the speed outside from Akers.
Akers is a bright spot in this game, especially with speed on the outside. He can help with the play action pass. If they can get a couple of plays like that, the quarterback Blackman will have a lot better chance in setting in the pocket. With a beat-up offensive line, he needs to run play action pass to have time to throw the ball down the field. But right now, if you can run the ball 6 or 7 yards a carry, you've got plenty of time in this game to go down and kick a field goal and win it.
He's gained 52 yards on 13 carries. Patrick is back in. They run it out of the eye. Chuck West, Patrick, nice hole up the middle. Bates is waiting for him, but he's got a first down out to the 42.
Great block from Alden Tate back on the backside. He cut the backside in, and that allowed the back to cut back. There was no pressure coming back from the backside on that. So good block by a wide receiver. Everybody in Florida State's team here has got to help this quarterback. Give him confidence, move the chains, don't get in second, third, and long.
They don't need much more to get in field goal territory. And Rasul picks up nearly 10 on that run.
Big hole here on the right side, and it's good blocking. You got to give it to Rick Trickett, the offensive line coach from Florida State. They have been decimated today with injuries, moving guys from guard to tackle, from tackle to guard, center, and they're playing with a lot of backups.
There's the veteran coach.
Vietnam vet.
Yep, a Marine. Rasul close to first down yardage. Did not get a very good mark on that either. There is the line we're designated as where they need to get to have a reasonable shot at a field goal.
And Jalquez Patrick comes in the game, and who do you think's going to get it? 240 pounds straight downhill. Or it could be a play action, throw one deep. I mean, this would be a good time to do that. Catch him off guard.
Aguayo waiting on the sideline to see if it's his. There's Patrick. He did not make it. Even with second effort, he didn't get it. How about this?
Great defense out of Zeke Rodney right there. He got a lot of penetration. Forced Patrick to go a little bit farther than he wanted to.
That is a school record. 18 tackles for loss. And because of the lack of success on running other plays, Florida State's going to punt.
Great position for a fake punt. If you're going to run it, you want to run it between the 40 and the 35-yard line on your end of the field.
High end over end floater. Fair catch made at the 10. Crowd wanted a flag, but with that kind of contact, there's not going to be one. They'll hand it off to Arkeem Byrd, but Derek Noddy, who will be one of the top 5 defensive linemen in the draft this year, makes the tackle.
I think that's one of his best get-offs of the game.
It was.
And of course, the defense knows it's on their back. Different formation, really spread them out.
It's Warren Ruggiero, quarterback keeper. Out to about the 8.5-yard line. They've got to get to the 20.
Timeout.
Seminoles
Florida
use
State,
their second timeout. Florida State has 1 timeout left. There's still 1:13 on the game clock. And Wolford wants to throw. There's the out and incomplete. McFadden may have gotten a piece of it, but I thought Scotty Washington had a chance to make that catch.
It was a good back shoulder throw. He just didn't catch the ball, but McFadden slowed down just enough. You know, these Florida State defensive backs got a lot of confidence. They don't think you can outrun them. And so when you have that much confidence, as you see right here, he's pressing him. He's not worried about getting beat deep. He's just worried about giving him first down. He gets his hand in there and makes a great play.
Now McFadden will go back to take the punt from Maggio. Low returnable kick. Runs into a defender right away at the 40. 35-yard kick, 3 yards on a return, and the reason it's tied is that Maggio snap hooked an extra point earlier in the ball game. Or excuse me, Weaver.
They've made several special team mistakes that probably cost them at least 10 points. But Florida State's in the game. I'll tell you, you got to give them credit. They haven't played very well at all. They played good defense, but offensively they played well enough to keep them in the game. Now they got a chance to win it.
Patrick, the tailback, they fake it to him. His tight end was wide open. He didn't throw it to him. Now on the post, touchdown! Auden Tate. A perfect throw from James Blackman. Holy cow.
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
He put that right on the money.
Auden Tate, their most dangerous receiver, ran a post, and Blackman threw a perfect pass. And they're stunned here in Winston-Salem.
Just a great throw. Couldn't have thrown it any better. That was Florida State's play all the way. The play was actually supposed to go to the tight end, and they covered him, and so he threw it to the cross-country route downfield. Great throw, great catch.
And Amari Henderson, who had such a brilliant game as a corner, was barely beaten on that. He was right there, but couldn't stop it.
We'll show you the intended receiver and then who he threw it to. This is their intended receiver. This is who he throws it to. Watch as we fake it right here. The tight end's going to block and come out. He's covered, so they don't throw it. Throws it downfield on the cross-country route. Really well defended. Just a great throw by Blackman. He just grew up immensely in that one throw.
Didn't he ever? No safety in the middle of the field.
Big play by Florida State. They're a big play team, and they made that big play. Wake Forest didn't make a first down coming out of the end zone.
Wake has all 3 timeouts left. And 53 seconds on the clock. Look out for Greg Dortch. Ouch. Seminoles flying to tackle the 5'9" redshirt freshman. Joseph Shergan was the first man down. The numbers on Wolford. He's had a heck of a ball game.
And he's played under duress most of the night, as he has all year long. This will be interesting to see what they can do in a 2-minute drill with 47 seconds to go. You work on this every day in practice.
The advantage is with the first down, the clock stops at least momentarily. Wolford throws underneath. Dortch, can he get out of bounds? He will. Got everything he could possibly get. 10 catches for Greg Dortch. That gives him 30 for the season.
Florida State just gets in a too high defense, putting both safeties, both All-American safeties on the hash, and they're saying just don't let anybody behind you.
It's been an amazing football game. Over the middle and too low for a wide open receiver. That was Dortch again.
Just a poor pass right there. He did set his feet to throw it. He was too wide open. You know, probably throws the ball a little bit better when they've got coverage. Again, that time Derwin James came up and played a little bit too close to the line of scrimmage for a scramble. Let him get behind him.
6-man front for Florida State. They come with 5. The pass to the outside, that looked like contact. No flag. Did McFadden hold at the end, or was it enough?
He got away with one. He knows he got his hands on him. And that, you know, that's got to be a call by the official right here. He got his hands on him twice. That's definitely a hold. Pulls him away from the ball. He affected the play. Again, those officials, you know, one of them I know doesn't have a flag.
3rd and 10. 30 seconds left.
3-man rush, dropping 8.
takes a shot as he gets up to the 39-yard line. Jackson drilled Wolford. Florida State trying to avoid that 0-3 start. Wake trying to remain unbeaten. 22 seconds to go. They need a foot on 4th down. Quarterback keeper. The clock will stop momentarily. They got to hurry. Four-man rush. Get out of bounds. Big block downfield. Holy cow. Cortez Lewis drilled one of the defenders on a comeback block.
Yeah, and this is one of the plays also that, you know, we're trying to get out of football is the back block like this.
Yes, very dangerous. 10 seconds to go. To the outside, 1st down. Wade makes the catch. 6 seconds left. You can throw it anywhere because you got a timeout left.
Yeah, this has got to be in the end zone. I mean, it's got to be a Hail Mary.
Do you take your shot here with 6 seconds to go, or do you try to get like a 10-yard out and then take it?
No, I think you go to the end zone. I think he can throw it this far. It's going to be about a 45-yard throw. Going for Washington.
Tipped away by the All-American Derwin James. And the clock shows triple zeros. Heartbreak for Wake Forest. Good grief. They played so well and so hard. And Jimbo Fisher is going to walk out of here. He will have a smile on his face on the way home. And Dave Clawson is just going to feel like he's crushed.
Well, they played their hearts out. Florida State's got a heck of a team come in with a freshman quarterback, and to play a team that's very, very good in Wake Forest. Again, they were 4-0, and the way they played today, I know they're disappointed, but I tell you, they have got a big chance, opportunity to win a lot more games.
Let's go down to car keys with Jimbo Fisher.
Coach, it wasn't always easy. What was the biggest challenge in that game?
I mean, just getting your confidence back. You know, you had 2 losses. You had to get your confidence back and learn that you could make a play when you had to make a play, and we did that. We had tons of mistakes. We got to get cleaned up. But our kids fought, competed, just like we always do, found a way. Now we got to move on to the next step.
Confidence in making a play. Let's talk about your true freshman quarterback, James Blackman. He had 31 yards heading into the 4th quarter, and you call that play. What gives you the confidence in that kid this early in his career?
Well, I do. I just had to be at the right field position. And the 1st down call, we thought they would play the run. We have a good run. We pop right there, and we get field goal range. So we had our big guy who got taped back in. He's very limited on the day, but we got him in a one-on-one situation. James saw it and went to it.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats.
Thank you.
Coming up tonight, number 2 Clemson, number 12 Virginia Tech on ABC. For Tommy Tuberville, Paul Carcaterra, and our entire hard-working crew, this is Mike Patrick. So long from Winston Salem.